Hi, welcome back. I just received my Bluetti EB70 a few days ago, and I've been using it for a whole day. Yesterday I used it for a whole day, powering up my TV and some lights, and just see how it does. I picked the mint green color. It was released on April 30th, and right when it was released, it was sold out. They have it in mint green, red, and gray. And mint green was actually the first color that actually sold out. So it's a unique color. That's one reason I picked it, because I thought it looks pretty cool and it looks different. So thought I'd give it a try. It's a 700 watt power inverter. 700 watt, 1400 watt surge. It's got 716 watt hour battery capacity. And we'll do a battery capacity test after my little quick review to see what's the efficiency on the inverters are. We're going to do the AC capacity and also DC capacity test. All right, so let's take a look and see what came with the Bluetti EB70. Okay, so first thing, let's see what it comes with. So far, it comes with an external charging brick. It's got its own Bluetti charging brick, and let's see what the voltage is on this one. So it charges it at 25.2 volt, 8 amp. Okay. And it came with an MC4 to a barrel plug. I don't know what size that is, but it's a barrel plug. This is what it uses to charge for the MC4. And then you got the car adapter plug, which also plugs into that barrel plug. And instruction or manuals, looks like. And it's got some, they have just a couple of booklets. Looks like they're just manuals with instruction and a warranty card that you can just fill out. That's pretty much it. So one thing that I noticed when I was charging this Bluetti, the adapter has a fan in it that runs constantly. So even though it's not charging, it's just plugged into the wall, it's constantly running. The fan is constantly running. I am okay with it because I have another charger that charges my AliExpress battery, and it does the same thing. It's a fan just constantly run, but at least it's got a light that's either green or red. Red meaning it's charged, green meaning it's fully charged. Here's an up close of it. Here's a charger where you plug in and charge the AC or a solar on it. There's only one plug, so you can only plug one input only. So it's either AC, solar, or your car adapter. And this is what it uses to input, just this barrel plug only. It comes with two USB-C 100 watt, two 5 watt USB, two barrel plug, looks like an 8 millimeter 12 volt plug, 10 amp. You got your cigarette adapter in it, cigarette plug. Then you got your 4 AC outlet. This is 700 watt, 700 watt AC. You got two on top that has the ground for it, which is not really ground. It's just a hole so you can plug in your 3-prong. Then you got the regular 2-prong down here. Then you got your light up here, and also on top you have the wireless charging, so you can drop your phone on top of it and it charges. But you have to turn on DC for it to work. It looks like I have DC on already. And then here's the display. So the display looks like 20% increment bar that shows you the percentage of the battery. Then you got your input, then you got your output. That's pretty much it on the display. So I noticed one thing I don't like is this battery level. So it doesn't have the actual percentage. So if you're at 75%, it probably just shows 80%, I guess, or maybe 60 or so. So you can't tell what actual percentage you're at. Like last night I had my TV running and it was down to just 20. It was showing only 20, but really, am I under 20? What if I'm at 5% or 2%? How would I know I'm at that lowest percentage? So you can't really tell. So it either shows 20, 40, 60, or 80, or full. And another thing is this button right here that turned on DC or AC. It's really dim. Like AC is on right now. I couldn't even tell until I really look at it. So this light is really, really dim. It's got a little green light and it's really dim. Like this is off. And another thing is, once everything is off, there's no off button. So you can't really turn it off. It just goes into standby and I guess it's off, right? I assume that. Because right now, it's off right now. So everything's off, lights is off, AC is off, DC is off. So if I want to turn on, like turn it on pretty much, or just want to see the display, you just press any button. Or press it again. Maybe I didn't press it hard enough. There you go. And it comes on for like 1 second, 2 seconds or so. So, and it goes off. So if you wanted to stay on longer, I guess you have to turn it on. Like that, and then the light come on, so it stays on a little longer. But the good thing is say you have something plugged in, your AC is running, and the display went off. I don't know how long it takes to turn off, but eventually it goes off. But when the display goes off, you can press it again, and it actually doesn't turn off the AC, it only turns on the display only. So which is a good thing, because you don't want to have an AC plug-in, like say right now, you have something plugged in the AC and it's running through the AC, but you want to show the display. You can just press it, it actually won't turn off the AC, it only turns on the display. So that's the one thing you kind of have to be careful too, because you don't want to press it too many times because it'll turn off the AC. If you have something running, you don't want it to turn off. It would be nice if they actually show like AC icon or DC icon somewhere in here that shows that it's on, but it doesn't. But is it a deal breaker? No, I don't think so. You got your light here. You got your dim, bright, and SOS. And then you have your fan here that blows out. So this is where it blows out. Then you got the back side. Then this is where the fan sucks air in and blows out on the other side. So input is an MPPT, which is good. It's 12 volt to 28 volt, 200 watt max solar panel. So you don't want to series your solar, because series the solar will actually be higher than 28 volt, and you can pretty much damage the internal on it. So keep it either parallel or just one solar panel is good. All right, let's turn it on and let me get my heat gun and see if it can power a heat gun. All right, so I have my heat gun here. Let's plug it in and see. I don't know what the wattage on this. It's got two setting, low or high. So let's turn on the AC. You press this button and you see a little green light come on. Like I say, it's a little bit dim, so maybe out in the sun or outdoor somewhere where it's bright, you probably can't really see that. So that might be a little issue for some people. Like I say, it would be nice if it had an AC icon here that tells you. All right, so let's put it on low setting. $500 watt, and display went off. Press it, turn back on. 500 watt, wow, that's pretty good. It pulls it pretty good. Let's crank it up on the next level, which is the highest setting. And it says overload, so it's probably pushing over 700 watt. But you hear the AC fan is running. I guess when it puts on load, you hear the fan running internally, and now it shuts off. But it says overload. Let's see how you reset. So I got I'm still leaving it plugged in, but I turn off the heat gun. Can I turn it back on? No. Okay, when you press the button, the overload button, overload icon went away, and you press it again, it turns AC back on. Okay, and it's back on. So it says 700 watt AC, and then you got 1400 surge, which I didn't think it actually hit 1400 surge. So it didn't quite did the 1400 surge. So it looks like anything over 700 just shuts it off. So that's something to think about there. So it doesn't surge. It says 1400 watt when it surges, but I didn't think this heat gun surged up to 1400. It's probably around, maybe it doubles, maybe to 1000 or so, or I don't know. But yeah, it definitely didn't surge to 1400. But at least it ran under 700, so that's one of the good news. So my next test is, let's charge the battery back up to full, and then we'll do a capacity test on AC and DC. All right. Okay, here's the power brick. Let's plug in the AC. Can you hear that? You can definitely hear the fan running. All right, let's plug in to the input. Oh, and another thing, it charges max at 200 watt, either AC, MC4, or car adapter. It's maxed out at 200 watt because this input only accepts 200 watt either way. So we'll let that run until it's fully charged. It's charging at 196 watt right now. So once it's fully charged, we'll come back and we'll do the AC capacity test, and then when that's done, we'll do the DC capacity test. Okay, let's do the battery capacity test. Let's do the AC first. And I have my kilowatt hour meter right here. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And it's on, you can tell by the light in there. Let's go ahead and, it's a 3-prong, so I'm gonna plug into the top part. And right now it's showing 0. And let me get a power strip real quick. I have this splitter that I created a while back just to run some Christmas lights. So I'm gonna use this to split the power from here. And then we will plug in one of the lights here. And then we'll plug in another light that I have. So we'll use 2. Okay, AC is on. I don't know if you can see that. The kilowatt hours is 0 right now. It's reset to 0. I'll go ahead and turn on my lights. Just pulling 40 watt, and we'll turn on the other light. And it's pulling 88 watt. So we'll let that run, and we'll come back when it's completely shut off, and we'll see what the kilowatt hour is. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Looks like it's completely turned off. Let's see what it shows here. 0%, 0 output, 0 input, and let's see what the kilowatt hour is. 649 kilowatt hour. 649 kilowatt hour. It's rated at 716 kilowatt hour. So that would be 90% efficiency. That's actually pretty good, 90%, wow. And that's on the AC side. So let's go back and charge it up. Let me get my charger. Here's the charger. So let's plug it back. Let's plug into the wall here. And you can hear that fan running. Let's plug it in here, charge it back up. Okay, we'll let this fully charge up, and we'll come back and we'll do the DC test, capacity test on the DC side. It is the next day and looks like it's fully charged now. Take a look here. And it's 100%. Okay, so we'll go ahead and unplug this. And then we'll unplug the charger brick. So I have a little, some kind of device here, like a battery tester. This is for DC, and I have it plugged in here, going in here, and then it goes into this barrel plug. So we're gonna go ahead and use the barrel plug on the DC side to do the testing. Plug that in, turn DC on, and then you gotta press it again. There we go. All right, and I gotta plug the DC into the power strip here that I have. All right, we're getting 13.2 volt, and it's regulated. Right now, everything is set to 0 kilowatt hour, 0 amp hour, 0 time, everything. And we'll go ahead and turn it up. I'll probably do 80 watt or 100 watt. I don't want to do it too high. Last time I did 150 watt, and it actually burned a chip on this device. So I don't want to burn the chip again. Yeah, let's do 100. And you hear the fan come on. So when it's pulling low, the fan actually comes on. So we'll let that run, 8 amp. And we'll come back when it's completed and see how many watt hour does it have. So it looks like it's up to 1 watt hour right now. Okay, we'll be back when it's done. Okay, we are back again. Looks like it's completed. 0%, batteries depleted. And we got 623 watt hours, so that's about 87% efficiency. It's still 13.2 volts, so technically you can probably run it a little bit more. If I run it at a lower wattage, you can probably squeeze a little bit more watt hour out of it. So once I raise this up, you can see that I can still deplete a little bit more at 30 watt or so. But that's all the tests I'll do. So 623 is less than AC efficiency. AC was getting about 649, that's 90%. So a little bit less than AC. That's still pretty good though. That pretty much completes my test. So there were a few stuff that I didn't like, and there's some stuff that I like, but I think I like it more than any of the negative stuff. Some of the negative stuff was just the light on the power button was a little bit dim. You can't really see it. It doesn't have a display button where you can just press a display button and the display comes on. You have to press the power button, like the AC button, the DC button, or the light button for it to come on. And it doesn't show like a percentage, the actual usage percentage where you can see, 35%. It just shows increment only, so you can't really tell exactly. But that's not a deal breaker. It would be nice if it actually showed how many hours or minutes you have left when you're discharging or charging. And besides that, I think this is a pretty good power station. Mainly, I like that it uses lithium iron phosphate, which is a really good chemistry. It's much safer, and it cycles a lot longer, so it lasts you a lot longer. So that's pretty much it. I didn't get to do too much of a review on it, a lot of testing. I just did what I know. but it's definitely going to be one of my power stations that I am going to use when I go camping. It's lighter than my other power station, the EcoFlow Delta. So this is actually a perfect size to take out. 700 watt, you can run a lot of stuff with 700 watt. You can run your laptop, you can charge your cameras, your phone, your drone, pretty much everything. And then you can plug a solar into it. All right, thank you.